All right, guys, I've debated doing this video because I am kind of embarrassed at the state of my yarn studio, aka our guest bedroom. Right now, it looks like somewhat clean. Don't look in the closet too much. Here's a little tour of the situation, but this used to be the garage in our house originally. The house was built in the late 60s, and this was an attached garage, and then a couple of families who lived in the house before us closed this off and made this. They use this as a family room. We use a different room as a family room, but we decided to use this as a guest bedroom because we've got a bathroom that we've updated in here now. So there's the bathroom. But I'm filming this video because my yarn situation is a mess, and my closet is a mess, and I'm going to, this is really embarrassing, I am going to organize this. We're having a ton of family for the holidays, and lots of people will be sleeping in here, so it's time for me to get my butt in gear and organize this. So I am going to take you along with me. Here's my shelves. I've got lots of different yarn mixed in. Some of it's organized, some of it's not. There's a ton of yarn in, I mean, it just like falls off the shelves all the time. I've got a ton of yarn in the cupboards. I used to do a lot of beading, so I have some beading in there. Beads in there. I mean, it's just fall. Like, there's so much. And I used to stock Woolies Thick and Quick a lot because I used to make items to order. So I still have a lot of Woolies Thick and Quick from when I used to make things years ago. I have like this really thick yarn to make blankets, and I've never really done it. My daughter's tried one. I mean, it just takes up so much space. So, and then I have like a box of finished knits, some projects in progress. There's a box on the ground with more Lion Brand respun, and this is what is just a mess. It's a mess. I have projects I've started, projects I've finished, projects I need to frog. I have bedding in here for a blow-up mattress. It's just a lot. So I am going to take you along with me as I try to get this organized. Look at all of these finished knits I've got. So most of these are things I've completed. A lot of the stuff is stuff you have seen. There are a few things in here you've probably never seen. And then I've got this pile over here of stuff that I want to frog. So wish me luck on that. I am trying to have this top shelf be like all of my works in progress. But I just don't know if it's a good use of space. This shelf is going to be like knitting needles and zippers and buttons and stuff like that. And then I think the bottom shelf is going to be where I'm going to keep some of my finished pieces, but they're not all going to fit. So I might put them in storage bins in the basement. Day 2, I finished the room up just a few minutes ago. I worked pretty late last night. And now it's finally done. All right, so the shelves, I really organized all of my yarn. I've got a lot of my like worsted weight yarn up there, and I've got a lot of my super bulky like dark yarn here, and here is all of my Lion Brand respun currently. And then in here, I basically just have more Woolies Thick and Quick, some stuff that I frogged down there. I have to say, I did donate a lot of yarn that I've just had for years that I just don't think I'll be using, so I set that aside. I organized this whole shelf. I've got a lot of my, the petite wool and some of my cotton yarn in there. All of my beads and stuff are in here. And I've got some on the bottom because it's so heavy. And I have some specialty yarn down here next to that and some other super bulky weight yarn. And then my daughter wanted to knit one of those cozy blankets, so I've got some of this yarn, and it is so big and thick and it's taking up a lot of space, and we'll see if she finishes the blanket. Okay, and then over here I have a ton of the wool and Wool in the Gang super bulky weight yarn all here. And then I've got some more woolies, thick and quick, and then some other kind of yarn here. And more, oh, I lost. It's hard because the, I just lost that, it fell out. The yarn that I frogged and wound up in a ball, it's hard to keep on a shelf. It kind of falls out. So a lot of it is in the cupboard to hopefully help keep it from falling out. So I've got a few things hanging over here. I took the time to organize my desk area, just cleaned up a lot of the small things that I have now in the closet. I'll show you the closet in a minute. I really combed through like a lot of old notebooks I had and things like that, and just got rid of some. I had like work notebooks from about 10 years ago that I kept. So I cleared this whole shelf out, and because this is a guest room and we don't really have a dresser or anything, I'll probably clear off some of the, like make more room for people to put stuff on the shelf. I thought I would just show you some of my knitting books I've got. I've got this Coco Knits Sweater Workshop book. I've got this book, Weekend by Jen Gagley. And then my neighbor, who used to live next door to me, gave me some of her nice knitting books. This one's cool. This is called Knitting on the Edge, and it just shows you how to make some cool edging. And she also gave me this Knitted Toys book and this Vintage Socks book. I've got this cool book, Journey by Jane Richmond and Shannon Cook. I'm so inspired by people who publish their own knitting pattern books. I would love to do that eventually. I've got 2 sweater books that I love. This one, Ultimate Sweater Book, and this one is great too. This one's by Ann Budd. Twinkle's Big City Knits, really cool book. Patterns can be hard to follow in this one, but it's a lot of super bulky weight stuff. It's really cool. I've got this cool knitwear design book. This one, it's just kind of a cool book. And then I have this Japanese knitting stitch book, and Vogue knitting book, The Ultimate Stitch Dictionary. My husband actually got that for me last year for Christmas. And down here, I've got like old copies of Vogue knitting magazines from over the years, things like that. And then I've got some notebooks over here. So there you go. So now I will show you the closet. And this is what I'm most happy about. Okay, let me walk you through the closet. Let's see how the lighting is here. I think it's okay. All right, so on the top, I've got like lights and cameras, blocking mats, faux fur to make faux fur pom-poms if I ever do that. Okay, this next shelf, you guys, I didn't think I had that many works in progress. And these are all my works in progress right here. And I don't know if I'm going to finish them all. If I'm not, I'm going to frog them. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 works in progress. Okay. A lot of them are like cotton summer things that take forever. And maybe I'll walk you through some of these eventually. But I've got my lace cardigan. I have a big vest. I have this white cream cardigan that's going to be awesome with this huge shawl collar. I've got a worsted weight raglan. I've got this dress that I've been trying to make for a really long time. I have a cotton version of my hillside v-neck cardigan that I hope to finish someday. I have, what's this one? Oh, this was a skirt. This was a skirt I was gonna make. This is another raglan that's similar to this one, but it's just knit on super bulky weight yarn. And it's got like a ribbed raglan with German short rows. This is my lace cardigan that will be, I am definitely going to finish this one. It's almost done. And that is going to be a really cool pattern that I'm going to get tested and edited. And this is like, this is a cable cardigan made out of cotton yarn. Okay. It's a lot. It's a lot. I will get through it and I will commit to either finishing or frogging. But it is nice to see everything in one place, and I can just open the door and be like, okay, I'm going to finish this project now. All right, moving on down. I went through all of my needles, you guys, and I'm going to donate a lot of straight needles that I had, like my very first knitting needles. I'm going to donate those. Okay, so I've got like ribbon. I have like tags and stuff back here from when I used to sell products. So I decided to save all that, but I've got like buttons, elastic, other kinds of notions back there, like all my sewing stuff. And then I've got like snaps, things like that. And those are all my zippers down at the bottom. Like I have so many zippers. I'm always so ambitious with what I think I'm using zippers for. Okay. And then up here, I've got like pom-pom makers, tape measures. You guys, I could not find, I only had one tape measure. I thought I lost all my other tape measures. And lo and behold, I was able to find them once I got myself organized. Then I have like notions in here, stitch markers, all of my fun stuff from Twice Sheared Sheep, the extension cords and things like that, and the knitting needle stoppers. This is all of my crochet hooks and double pointed needles. I just decided to put them in one thing. And then all of my needles are in here. You guys probably think I'm like super organized with my needles and that I have this like amazing interchangeable set. I have one and I just decided to, I don't know what happened to my case, honestly. I'm not sure what happened to my case. But I decided to put all of my interchangeable needles in this bag. And then in this bag I have all of my cords. And then in this bag in the back, these are all of my 16 inchers. So that's how I organize it. And then I've got all my circulars here. I did save some straight needles. Like these are from my grandma. So I saved some of my straight needles. And then down here, I have a lot of my completed finished objects down here. Hats, scarves, shawls. I mean, it goes, there's a lot. Okay, and this isn't even everything. These are all of the test knits that I did. I'm going to make a video about all of my test knits I did when I got back into knitting during COVID. I have some other finished objects down here, sweaters, cowls, basically projects that I might eventually frog. And then this is like my scrap yarn pile, which I probably should go through, but there's that. Okay, and one other thing, and then on this side I just have like an empty bin, computer, things like that, some files, nothing too exciting. But I do have to say, I'll show you, I did have to put some sweaters in this other room. This is like my little sitting room area. I did have to put some sweaters in this closet. And some other things, not a ton, but I do have some stuff in there. So just telling you that I didn't get it all in that closet. All right, guys, thanks for organizing my yarn studio, aka guest bedroom. Thanks for coming along for the ride, and I hope you enjoyed this little tour of my space.